Here are 5 news stories from the world of the cryptocurrency industry. First, news. Whales lose interest in Shiba Inu. Holders of Shiba Inu are experiencing tough times. The popular meme coin has shown no positive signals for several weeks in a row. The decline in interest from whales and retail investors in SHIB could worsen the situation even further. The most likely scenario for Shiba Inu seems to be a prolonged consolidation phase. Evidence of this is the decreased activity of large investors and the actions of retail market participants. The daily transaction volume of SHIB valued at $100,000 or more has dropped to a low of $30 million. This decline is accompanied by active selling, which amplifies the bearish sentiment. Realized profit in the network has also sharply increased, reaching a 3-month high. This indicates that holder skepticism about the future dynamics of the meme coin continues to grow. Given the above data, SHIB is likely to remain within the range of $0.00002584 and $0.00002267. A wider range would allow the meme coin to move between $0.00002835 and $0.00002093. The growth of bearish sentiments increases the likelihood of a drop, potentially sending the coin to $0.00002267. However, a breakthrough above the resistance level of $0.00000283 would help Shiba Inu reach a 2-month high. In that case, the altcoin could continue its movement toward $0.00003000 and attempt to disprove the bearish scenario. Second, news. Exclusion of Nigerian Naira on crypto exchanges will only worsen its devaluation. Nigerian crypto enthusiasts believe that the local authorities' ban on trading the Naira on cryptocurrency exchanges could further devalue the national currency. The executive secretary of the Blockchain Association of Nigeria, Ofi, stated that the Nigerian authorities are applying an impractical approach to the crypto industry. In particular, the government believes that international crypto platforms have contributed to the devaluation of the Naira. Due to the rapid devaluation of the currency and, consequently, a high inflation rate of 29.9%, reaching almost a 30-year high, the Nigerian government has intensified its crackdown on cryptocurrency platforms. According to Ofi, Nigeria could effectively regulate the cryptocurrency industry using the framework presented by the Nigerian Securities and Exchange Commission in 2022. The agency was developing a pilot program for the circulation of tokenized assets and was ready to recognize cryptocurrencies as investment capital. A lecturer at the University of East London, Iva Salami, also believes that the Nigerian authorities unfairly blame cryptocurrencies for the devaluation of the Naira, despite the fact that cryptocurrencies can be used for money laundering and drug trafficking. Instead of a complete ban on digital assets, Nigerian authorities should develop balanced regulation of the industry, Salami noted. This would allow the country to achieve a thriving crypto industry without compromising the financial and economic stability of the country. Third, news. The number of bitcoins in BlackRock's spot ETF exceeds 300,000. The number of bitcoins in IBIT, a spot exchange-traded fund from BlackRock, has exceeded 300,000. The fund's capitalization reached $21 billion, making IBIT the leader in capitalization among spot ETFs. Friday, June 6, was a very successful day for IBIT. In just one day, the number of bitcoins in BlackRock's fund increased by 4,920 BTC and reached 302,534 BTC. Thus, IBIT surpassed the GBTC fund from Grayscale. GBTC was launched in 2015, but until the beginning of 2024, it operated as an over-the-counter private fund. After the approval of spot ETFs in the US, GBTC was converted into an exchange-traded fund, but due to high fees, capital outflow began from it. The number of bitcoins in this product decreased from 619,220 BTC to 285,651. However, due to the growth of the Bitcoin exchange rate, the capitalization decreased by only 30%. All spot ETFs on Bitcoin in the US market now have a capitalization of about $63 billion and hold 883,000 BTC. This is about 4.2% of the maximum number of coins. Fourth, news. Bitcoin network transaction fee rises to $52. There has been a sharp increase in network fees in the Bitcoin network, caused by 332,000 unconfirmed transactions as of 12:05 p.m. Eastern Time on June 7. At that time, network fees reached 514 SAT for high-priority transactions and 513 SAT for low-priority transactions, with prices earlier in the day rising to about 520 SAT per transaction. In US dollars, this amounts to $50.52 per transaction. Since then, the priority fee has dropped to about $46 per transaction. According to blockchain reporter Colin Wu, the 332,000 unconfirmed transactions are presumably the result of centralized collection and sorting by the OKX exchange through wallets, although this had not been confirmed at the time of publication. Concerns related to miner difficulty, high network fees, and miner profitability in the Bitcoin network have become more acute after the halving. The reduction in block reward from 6.25 Bitcoins to 3.125 BTC at the end of April significantly affected miner profits. Bitfarms reported a 42% drop in mining revenue for May, the first full month since the last halving. The Bitcoin mining company reported in its end-of-month report that 156 BTC were earned in May compared to 269 BTC in April. The Bitcoin miner also explained that the temperature at its facility in Argentina in May was unusually low, one of the worst weather conditions in 44 years. These poor weather conditions led to an 8-day shutdown of the company's facility in Rio Cuarto, contributing to the overall decline in the number of Bitcoins mined. Since the beginning of 2024, Bitcoin miners in the US have spent a total of $2.7 billion on electricity, despite the increase in computational difficulty and reduced rewards. According to analyst Paul Hoffman, since the beginning of 2024, Bitcoin mining in the US has consumed an enormous 20,822 GWh of electricity. The analyst added that the amount of energy used by Bitcoin miners since the beginning of 2024 alone could power 1.5% of US households for a whole year. In April, the average cost to mine one Bitcoin was $52,000. After the halving, the cost of mining one Bitcoin rose to over $110,000 on average. Fifth news. Court freezes $280,000 of Crypto King transferred to Counter-Strike. A court has ordered the owners of the Steam platform to freeze the account of a self-proclaimed Crypto King from Ontario, Canada. This individual was declared bankrupt and, despite this, transferred assets worth more than 500,000 Canadian dollars, $430,000, to gaming platforms. On Thursday, a judge of the Ontario Supreme Court ordered the seizure of the accounts of one Aidan Pleterski, who was caught trading and selling items in the game Counter-Strike 2 weeks ago, specifically expensive virtual knives. He spent 382,000 Canadian dollars, $280,000, on a third-party skin trading site and 207,000 Canadian dollars, $151,000, on several other platforms. The court order requires Valve Corporation to provide login details for the Crypto King user account on Steam to bankruptcy specialists from Grant Thornton. For about a year, both Valve and Pleterski repeatedly rejected corresponding requests. On May 15, Pleterski was arrested by Ontario police. He was charged with money laundering and fraud, owing investors 40 million Canadian dollars, $30 million, which he promised to invest in cryptocurrency. According to Grant Thornton, since the beginning of the bankruptcy proceedings in 2022, Pleterski has returned only 18.5% of the funds to investors. Fraud recovery attorney Norman Groot noted the following: "It is clear that achieving full recovery through the bankruptcy process will not be possible." Grant Thornton representatives believe that Pleterski adhered to a catch-me-if-you-can approach. It is reported that the 25-year-old financed his travels around the world with Scene Plus reward program points, a spend-and-earn program, and also appropriated luxury watches worth 360,000 Canadian dollars, $260,000. Pleterski broadcast his travels, showing off riding in McLaren and Lamborghini cars. During his live streams, he often gambled and at one point called himself a professional streamer, a jobless but earning person. At Thursday's hearings, Grant Thornton specialists also requested an extension of his bankruptcy term by 2 years. The judge gave Pleterski's lawyer a month to respond to the extension request, provided Pleterski gives up his Binance and Steam accounts, stops using his credit card, and stops attracting investments.